Welcome to this unit on mindful kinesiotaping. Today, you will learn how to gently lift the skin between your eyebrows. This helps to release tension that is often unconsciously held there. The goal is not tightening, but relief so that your forehead can breathe. You will need kinesiology tape, skin-friendly, elastic, breathable, scissors, clean, dry skin, cut 2 strips, and slightly round the corners. Take a breath. Feel the space between your eyebrows. Stretch the skin slightly by opening the frown lines with your fingers. Stick the first strip across the eyebrow area. It should lie like a gentle bridge. The tape should lift the skin, not pull it. If you feel that your skin can breathe a little, you've done everything right. The tape works with your skin, not against it. It slightly lifts the top layer, thereby improving blood flow and lymphatic circulation. This allows tension in the underlying muscles to be released more easily. What I also like to do is place small dots on one side of the nasal root here and here. I do this on each side because it also helps to release a bit more tension. This also lifts the area a little, turning the corrugator into a kind of super chill muscle, which, as mentioned, is responsible for frown lines. It also creates a bit of a relaxing sensation, especially when this area is very... I also have this tendency to use my frown lines a lot. You can also develop a horizontal line across the nose here. At the moment, you can't really see it again, but sometimes I do have it. Of course, I regularly work against it, but ultimately this predisposition is still there within me. I also tend to use and tense up this whole area here quite a lot, because professionally I only work at the computer for hours every weekday. Since I sit like that, I'm always super susceptible to it. And that's why I always do this as well. I place a small point here on each side between the eyes, right at the inner corner of the eyes, not in the eye itself, of course, but just in front of it. And then you just bring a bit more relaxation into that area. A little bonus, if you like, this isn't directly related to the frown lines, but of course, in many workouts and so on, the forehead lines are also connected to this. These horizontal lines across the forehead also ultimately result from tension. Now just look for any deeper lines you can find on your forehead. So, where you can see that you have these horizontal lines running across your forehead. What you do then is simply take hold of that line, and just like before. Basically, it's always the same with tape. If I have a wrinkle, I should somehow open it up so that I'm not fixing the wrinkle in place, but rather pulling it apart so that the supply of nutrients, the lifting of the tissue, and so on can work properly. So if I had a wrinkle here, let's just say I can't really find one on myself right now, but then I would pull it apart here and simply lay my tape over it so that the wrinkle is opened up. And at the same time, the forehead is also a bit stabilized. You can just see for yourselves, or you can simply use smaller pieces of tape. Wherever you find something, always open it up and put a small piece of tape over it to open it. Depending on the length, just a little bit. Just see for yourself what's necessary. How deep is the wrinkle? How much is enough? So I wouldn't just plaster everything over, but rather make sure to check first. A little bit. The wrinkle is this long, so you don't need such a big piece of tape. And the whole forehead isn't covered, but rather we just make sure to do what's necessary, but also not more than necessary. That's actually a pretty good rule of thumb. And right, that would just be a bonus now. This isn't directly about the frown line. So this here would be taping the frown line. You see, it's done super quickly. If you wear it overnight, it's a great thing. It really can make a big difference. Or even if you're working at the computer in your home office, even if it's just 1 day a week, exactly, still great. And if you want to do yourself even more good, or if you're affected here by these horizontal lines, then feel free to add this as an add-on.